for inviting me. I feel very homely here, getting on with our Newar community. In LA, we do have some little community, but it's not close like this. So I'm really just, I want to visit again here. and Zojalaba to all my Nepali friends, all foreign friends. Today's topic, I choose this Dharani topic. I have been doing my research in Dharani last 2 years on the Graha Matrika Dharani, one of the 9 planet worship Dharani. I happen to, I got some kind of interest of my friend, whose name is Udrun Bunyama, who is professor at the University of Wisconsin Madison. She encouraged me to do some research on this kind of Dharani. But I'm just beginner, so if I made some mistake, please forgive me. And last year I went to Nepal, and I have been doing digitization of many Buddhist texts, especially the Mahayana Buddhist texts. And I have been conducting with the National Archive in Nepal and Asa Archive. I myself am doing some digitization of Sanskrit texts, private collection. So I found lots of Buddhist texts. Among them, like 50 to 30% is like ritual texts. And this ritual text is not that popular, especially in foreign. Nobody, the scholars are not interested too much. Very least studied area. Very few articles, like the Dharani I'm interested in, grammatic, only 3-4 papers have written so far. So I feel like there's a room for us to write more papers. And also Christopher, Alex, Roswell, they're doing lots of work. And Newar Buddhist is not many scholars, it's very small area. So I've started doing research now. And today I choose this only few Dharanis. So there's so many, 300 Dharani. Right? So this I will discuss today a little bit. Check this slide. So the definition of the Dharani term, right? So when we talk about Dharani, so it's a Sanskrit term, it's exclusively Buddhist term, it's not a Hindu term. And it means the three in Sanskrit term is grasp or hold. And sometimes it's also called a magical phrase or magical formula. And most of the scholars interpret it as a spell. And when we talk about spell, so in Hinduism there's also spell, right? So Atharvaveda, like 15th century, 1500 BC, the Veda was written and transmitted to India, and then they added Atharvaveda. So Atharvaveda talks about the spells, dispelling all obstacles when they perform the ritual, especially homoeotic ritual. So it's not a new thing, but the Buddhism do have a spell too. And when we look at the Theravada canon, they don't talk about too much about Dharani. But they have a tradition called Pirita. In Sanskrit it's called Paritrana. Right? So Paritrana chanting is very popular in Sri Lanka, in Nepal, in most of the Theravada country. And so they do have some chanting in Theravada. But very few reference in Tripitaka about the Dharani. There is no mention. Right? And especially when we look at the Buddhist text, especially Bhadrakalpa Avadana. So Bhadrakalpa is one of the texts where discuss about like Yasodhara, the wife of Siddhartha. Because of the Dharani, when Devadatta pushed in the cliff, so he was saved because of the chanting of the Dharani. So few incidents we can hear from here and there. And the most important text, Sabdhanva Purnika, the Lotus Sutra, the 28th chapter, talk about the Dharani. So we do have some references, but not we cannot date back. We cannot find early existing texts. So today I will discuss about the finding and a little bit history of the Dharani. And so Dharani, recently the scholar Dr. Ronald Denison, he had published 3-4 articles on the Dharani, and his new finding, he think that, so this last line is, he think that the Dharani is not spell, it's like a code, right? So he put forward his argument that it's a code of the system of Buddha. rather than memory or spell. Because each word of the Dharani has meaning of Buddhist philosophy, very powerful meaning. So it's like a spell or this Dharani represent like an entire Buddhist philosophy. It's like capsule teachings. So we don't have time to read whole Buddhist philosophical text. So we just read the short mantra or Dharani. And Dharani can be interchangeable with the word mantra or vidya. So some people may think, are mantra or vidya same like Dharani? So all the Dharani are mantra, but all mantra are not Dharani. That's the thing. Next slide. So original Dharani literature, because the Indian text, we cannot find the dates when it was written down. So it's very hard to trace the literature, especially Dharani. So we have to rely on Hindu text. So the ancient roots of Dharani is very obscure, are still obscure. We don't know. Like Nagarjuna, when he was young, like I said, he almost died because of the Dharani. He chanted the Amitayus Dharani, and then his life elongated, and he lived up to 600, we believe. So that's kind of story, like second century story was there, but we still don't have like evidence or archaeological or historical documentation is missing. So we have to rely on. So this Dharani may have some kind of influence from Atharvaveda or Brahmanical ritual. So, because most of the sounds of the Dharanis are actually not Sanskrit based, because mili, mili, chuli, chuli, so those are not Sanskrit. So it may have come from like a indigenous, especially like in India, like a Harappa civilization, Harappa and other very old civilization, 2,500 years ago. They may have some kind of sounds, or they with assimilated in Buddhist culture or Buddhist text. So it's a room for us to investigate, right? Because lots of sounds are like local or Dravidian languages or Harappa, Mohenjo-daro's period time, so like that kind of sound. So we don't have that. We are not clear that. And some may argue that those sound may be like a divine sound, or another loka, Naga loka, people they communicate in that kind of sound. Naga Yaksha, like Garuda. So there's room for us to argue that. It's not human sound, it's like divine. And so the lots of things are this because of the after the attack from the Turkish journal, the Nalanda University disappeared in 11th century. After that, so lots of text disappears. So we don't have like a Sanskrit text. Some scholar made argue that there is no Sanskrit text now. There is no Sanskrit Pitaka. We have only Theravada, Tibetan canon, Chinese canon, but no Sanskrit Pitaka. But very few Sanskrit still existed in Nepal, and we have been doing the digitization of the Sanskrit text and creating the new form of Sanskrit Buddhist Pitaka. But it's very few, like not more than 600, 700 texts. And in ancient time, there's a few 18th school of Buddhism, right? They do have a Dharani Pitaka at that time. But right now we don't have that thing. So the Dharmaguptaka, the 18th school of Buddhism, they have Mantra Pitaka and Mahasangika. They recite those Pitakas. Anaka people, they recite that. And Vidyadhara Pitaka of Mahasangika. Mahasangika scholar argue that later it become Mahayana. So those 18th school, 2-3 18th school, they do have that collection of Dharani at that time. And recently, the University of Washington doing some research of the Gandhara script. Richard Sormon, Professor Richard they have been transcribing and deciphering all those Gandhari texts. And one text they discovered which date back to like 1st century CE, and this Gandhari manuscript fragment. This is not the one, but similar like this. Talk about like a Naga king, Manasin. So discovered, right? So this may be the oldest Dharani, 1st century. And this is Gandhar script, Kharosti script. It's hard to read. Only very handful of scholars can transcribe those characters. And then, so other earlier text is Saddharma Purnika. So Saddharma Purnika Sanskrit version is not that old, but the Chinese Sanskrit, Chinese translate from Sanskrit, but the Sanskrit text already disappears. The thing we have now is reconstructed version, Sanskrit, Saddharma Purnika. So that one, the Chinese, they translate in 2nd century CE, and that one has the Dharani, right? Chapter 28. So that's maybe the oldest, one of the oldest. So it's the 2nd century Chinese translation is the one of the oldest. Right? And so Dharani become popular, especially in China. Like the king, they ask like Amo Bajra, the Buddhist scholar, to recite and to write those Dharani to protect their kingdom. Right? So in the 5th century onward, it became popular because of the protective power. Right? So the king, if they decided, so they can expand their territory, there will be no harm from the other neighboring countries. So that's why it became very popular, especially in China. And the Dharani manuscript. So Dharani manuscript is very hard to find. Some do exist, and they are in very bad shape. Right? Especially birch bark, palm leaf, those are like decayed. And but some they found in the like a Gilgit border between Pakistan and the Afghanistan, and like in northern part of like India, Pakistan. Those are the oldest Sanskrit existing texts they found in that area. But the recent texts, like 16th, 15th centuries texts, most of the texts are preserved in Nepal, and we still have that. But that's the oldest one is like 15th century, 16th century. It's copied manuscript, but not all like those Gandhari texts. And roughly, so the catalog published by National Archive and the Asa Archive, we have like 1,300 manuscript Dharanis. It's a repeated same text, but in different. We do have the 1,300 Dharani manuscript. So among these manuscripts, the most popular one is Pancharaksha Dharani, the 5 protector deity collection. So if you check the like a National Archive catalog, hundreds of Pancharaksha texts were preserved there. And the second one, Dharani Sangra. So Dharani Sangra collection, it has like 300 Dharanis. It's repeated, like Pancharaksha also included in that. And among them, Amitayus Dharani Sutra, Graha Matrika Dharani, Sitatapatra, Mahapatri Nirna, Vasundhara Dharani, and many others. Among 300. Among Pasa, many Dharanis. And these Dharanis, one scholar, Sanchez, dissertation he wrote, and like he discovered that these Dharanis are 2 kinds of Dharani. One is formalic, it has some pattern he discovered. Another one is like syllable, like Arpachana, the Manjusri's mantra, is like syllable. Right? So each syllable have like deep meaning, right, of the Buddhist, all the like philosophical texts, Paramahansa texts. But this the number one is formal, so they have like it's in prose, and it's recited by like like example I give you, like Grahamatrika Dharani. So Vajrapani request teaching, formal request teaching to Buddha, and then Buddha gave a teaching on Graha, right? So that kind of thing, the second one. And it will have some kind of mantra of all grahas. And then the fourth one is place. So if you read this one, so you will gain such and such. You have to do in this particular time, like a month of this month. It's very interesting. So the place, mantra, and Buddha formally gave teaching to the Bodhisattva or Vajrapani, highest Bodhisattva. So this pattern is the same. You can find some kind of pattern in all Dharani. And second one. So second one is syllabus. Syllabus, like we don't, when we read it, it seems like no meaning. But each syllable is connected with philosophy, right? Deep philosophy, like Prajapana, perfection, wisdom. So you have to look at the meaning of that syllable. Like all represent whole entire Prajapana Sutra. All. So each Arapachana Dharani, which is like 42 syllable mantra. So it has 42. Each 42 has a deep meaning. So this is like a syllable dharana. Right? So two kinds of dharana. So 43, 42 it has. And those are a door, right? Door to attain wisdom. So main, it will lead to the wisdom. Prajna of the Buddhist. And the Vasubandhu in the Bodhisattva Goni, so he categorized dharana into four different types of dharana. One is called dharma dharana, and second one artha dharana, meaning, and mantra dharana, and chanti dharana. So what is dharma dharana? So dharma dharana means, so the Kukai, one of this, he gave, so Asanga Vasubandhu, they have interpreted dharana in these four different types of dharana. So dharma dharana represented by the single letter like O itself form a basic for knowing of all dharma. So it become like essence of capsule teaching of dharma. So each letter will have all dharma, will carry all dharma teaching capsule, right? Like a medicine, like it will have all kinds of ingredients there. And so this dharana facilitates the mere but the faultless memory of the teaching. And second one is artha. So artha means meaning, right? So within this single letter, so it will encompass all meaning of the teaching, Buddha Dharma. And it actualizes the meaning of that syllable. Third one, mantra dharma. So mantra is like, so you have a dharma and with meaning. Now, when we recite that single letter, then all suffering will be relieved, and then we will try to enter to the enlightenment. So it will lead us to the enlightenment. So this dharana actually give a power to formulate and crystallize the teaching into the mantra. So the mantra will be formed. And then final one is called Chanti Labhya Dharani. So this is similar to like third one. So because of this recitation or practice of this single letter, so one will be able to eliminate all raga, dosa, moha, delusion, affliction, all hindrance, negative emotions, and then we will realize the innate wisdom of enlightenment. So this gave a purpose of single syllable perfect wisdom sutras. Right? So these are the four dharana, meaning of the dharana. So now I'll talk about the Nepalese. So in Nepal, the most popular, one of the most read, like till today, popular text dharana is Pancharaksha. Every household, like a life cycle ritual or any ritual, they recite this text by the priest. So Pancharaksha is a collection of these 5 protective deity, Mahapatisara, Sahasra Paramardhani, Mahamayuri, Mantrasani, Dharani, and Mahasitavati. And those are the 5 female goddesses. And so the Pancharaksha text describe their iconography, and if you read this text, so what you will get, right? So result of that. And Buddha himself gave this teaching to other deities. So this is a very powerful text. And you can see the result. Next slide. And this, so this, if you read this text, so you will be able to get rid of diseases. If you are sick, so you will get rid of those diseases, calamity like earthquake, like typhoon or misfortune. And also it also talk about the ritual, how you have to recite, how you have to chant, and when, where, that kind of stuff given. So if you hear the name of these 5 deities, so you will you can even release all your sin. You have to pacify your sin or negative energy, emotions. And so the oldest text we found, the Sanskrit Pancharaksha in Nepal, which dates like 11th century. The Louis book he mentioned. And this is one of the Ratnaraj Pandit from Lagankhel, Kathmandu, Patan. He just passed away. He's one of the experts in this Dharani. He always read Pancharaksha. And he also give amulets to people. So if you have a sickness, so he will give amulets if you wear it. So lots of Newar people, he's like our doctor. So if you have like children or old age, everybody, we at the time before he passed away, so we went there and get the amulets. And some people really got, they recovered from the sickness. We believe that. Not all the time, but that's why it's very effective. Next one. So the Mahapatisara. So the Mahapati is the main goddess of this Pancharaksha. So you can see the list of the benefits. If you recite, you will have lots of benefits. So you will have happiness, welfare, destruction from all obstacles, free from danger, poised by poison, like birth of son. If you don't have a son, worship Mahapatisara. Easy childbirth, and that is all. Curable of snake bite, pain relief from illness. So these are the things. So in China, like when they travel from one place to another by sea, so they recite Pancharaksha first and then they one voyage. So it's very important, especially trade people who at the time they have to walk, right, or horse ride. So when they go try before that they recite Pancharaksha. Sometimes they also bring like a priest with them to travel. So time to time they keep reciting the Dharanis and then travel. Otherwise, it's danger. The next one, Mahasahasra Dharani. So if you worship her, so you will be prevented or you get relief from natural disaster, immunity from disease, protection of cattle, help sickness, sick trees, ensure the effectiveness of medicine. Next one. And Mahamayuri. So Mayuri, Mayura is like peacock. So peacock always eat like poison, right? Because of that, her wings is so beautiful because of poison. So he can, Mayur can withstand those poison. Same thing. So if you worship Mahamayuri, so you will be cured by snake bites, free from snare, deity, demon, grand assistant. Buddha goes to the grand assistant. It's very powerful Mahamayuri. Mahasitavati, so you will remove fear, tranquility, so peace, bring peace. Nrtyamandala, so relief from pestilence, right? So if you have an epidemic disease, so worship her. Like plague at the time, plague is very popular, different kind of plague. So people worship her in order to prevent from plague. And next, another Padrasa is the number one, and then second is the Saptabara Dharani. So Saptabara Dharani means 7 days. Right? So all week long. So 7 days, right? Saptabara Dharani, 7 days Dharani. So each day, Sunday up to Saturday, we have a special Dharani for particular day. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday up to Saturday. Right? And this Dharani in Kathmandu, in the National Archive, we don't have that much. The oldest is like 15th century. Before that, we don't have that. So Dr. Budhan Gundeman, who wrote an article, Tantric Deities in an Institute, she argued that it may become popular around like 16th, 17th century only. Before, she doesn't claim that it's that early. So 16th century onward, the Saptabara Dharani become famous or popular. But nowadays, only some Bihara they start or recite, not many. So it's dying in this tradition, recite some Dharanis. And in the Tsusha Bhavan in Kathmandu, you can see the Tudal. Tudal means like the wood carving. You can see all these 7 deities is you can see in the Tudal wood carving. So I forgot to put picture. Next one. So what are those 7 deities or 7 Dharanis? So Sunday we worship Vasundhara. The Vasundhara is the god of wealth. So if you want to have wealth, so there's a 3 thing, right? The wealth, you're going to get wealth, food, and the land. Like so, if you have farmer, so you have to worship Vasundhara. So you'll give it like crop, like grow. If you want to grow something, worship Vasundhara. It's very important deity of the Vasundhara. And Bhadra Bidarani, Ganapati is auspicious. Usnisa Vijay, longevity. Panasari, Marichi, all this and protection. You will get protection. And the last one is called Graha Matrika. So Graha Matrika is mother of Graha. So Graha represent 9 Navagraha, 9 Graha. So you will be protected by 9 Graha if you worship or recite the Dharani of Graha Matrika. So because of the alignment of misalignment of this Graha, so if we have zodiac sign, right? So our zodiac sign sometimes if you go to check out your zodiac, priest will tell you like particular day or month or year. So the Graha is not like Sunny is creating obstacle in your life, or like many grahas are not aligned at that time. So you have to worship, and if you worship, then it will pacify, and the grahas start protecting you. So you have to worship the graha, and so when you worship the graha, so you have to give them their food. They have particular interests, like made of like ghee, sweets, or special like lentil, some kind of grain. We have to all worship it. So next slide. So you have to recite this 7 deity Dharani is 7 days a week. Whole week we have to, one by one we have to recite. And so life cycle ritual. So we have like a dasakarma, from birth to marriage. Right? Dasakarma is from birth to marriage, because the date is not clear, so it's not listed in Dasa. The ritual is separate. So birth, especially birthday. So birthday is very. So lots of people have like experience bad thing or in the birthdays. So birthday is very powerful day. So this graha or lots of things are heavy on that day. So you have to do some kind of puja, especially like you have to do other 9 planet or pancharacha. You have to do a worship of those 2 deities on that day. So that will protect. So some of you may have heard like somebody's birthday got crash, car crash or something died, or plane crash. So lots of things happen. I have heard that kind of story. So if you do that, then you will be protected. So there is no mishaps during the birthday. So it's one of the very important practice. Like you have to worship these 9 planets plus considered chats. The second one, I just listed 2 here, the many other. Next. And all is right. It's called Jiazangku or Zongku. Right? So when in Nepal, Nepalese Buddhist culture, when a male and female, when they reach that age, 77, magical number, 77, 7 months, 7 days, is first Zongku. Right? It's called Bhimarotharo. Second one is 88, 8 months, 8 days. It's called Maharotharo. So Ratha means chariot, right? Rohana, so they will put into chariot. And third one is 99, 9 months and 9 days, called Devarotharon. And there's a fourth Zongku too, like when they reach. So during this ritual, especially the number 1, when somebody turns 77, so they will worship the Graha Matrika. So Graha Matrika worship, the first one. And then second rite is called Vasundhara. And third one is Usnisabhide. So they read 3 Dharanis. Graha Matrika Dharani, Vasundhara Dharani, and Usnisabhide Dharani. So they will protect him from like an early demise or some kind of a premature death to elongate his life. And also bring fortune. So if you worship Vasundhara, so you can bring good luck, you will have prosperity, lots of things. So those 3 gods will be worshipped during this. All is right. So in the Acharya Kriya Samudaya, one of the texts mentioned that if you worship during these rites, so to appease the harm from the planet, to do away suffering from the poverty, to do away with suffering from the poverty, to increase the lifespan of that person. So they have to worship the 3 mandala. So Graha Dharani, they recite Dharani plus also they have to draw the mandala. So mandala worship side by side. The ritual have to do it. So this is very popular till today. People are observing and worshipping these 3 deities. So Usnisa Dharani, so this is in a Siddham script. So this is one of the Usnisa Dharani they recite. And so beside life ritual, so Dharani is always associated with the like daily chanting, right? Even here also, right? So every day, especially I quoted the Nrtyamandala Mahavihara. So one of them, I belongs to this Nrtyamandala Mahavihara Patan. So every morning in 5 a.m., so they will recite the Nama Sangati. So Nama Sangati, after reciting some Nama Sangati, if people sponsor or gives a little bit money, like 4-5 rupees, then they will add on chanting. So example, Paramita Dhani. If somebody gets sick, so, and they will pay a little bit money and ask the chanter, the Nama Sangati recital group, and they will add and recite on behalf of you the Nama Aparamita Dharani, Vaisarja Buddha Dharani, and Tara Dharani. So they will add those things in the morning chanting. So any day you can sponsor, you can go and sponsor. And so before I mentioned the mandala drawing, right? So Dharani, just reciting Dharani is not enough. So there's a ritual we have to think of. So there's various kinds of ritual. I mentioned few here. The Sanchez who did the research on this one. It's elaborated discussion given in that book. The first, so we have to draw the or write the Dharani mantra. And then, so you can also wear around your neck or arm, so that will like protect you from the obstacles. And sometimes we insert those Dharani in the stupa when we do consecration. So we put Dharani under like an image or statue. That's also a ritual. And you can also hang or put in banner in a high place, because if you step on the Dharani, then it will bring misfortune. So you cannot step on the statement. So you have to put in high place. Especially the Tibetan, they have like the prayer flag. So it's a Dharani, right? So you put in like the top of the mountain. Even Mount Everest climber, they bring and put in Mount Everest on the top of the mountains. So it's very common in Tibetan, Chinese and Newar Buddhist culture. And you have to place in the gates. You also see in the gates. And so Dharani associated with elaborate ritual. So you have to do the abhishek ritual, mandala drawing, and Bajacharya will perform gesture, hand mudras. Even in the Guru Mandala today we did, and person will display the mandala and mudras today. So every Dharani, the Bajacharya will perform some kind of gesture, recitation. And then mandala. Mandala is very important. So without mandala, you cannot invoke the deity. So you need to draw the mandala and image. Pratima means image drawing. And sometimes we also do the fire ritual. And then later we dismantle the mandala and let them go to their place. So this is very basic common practice in Newar Buddhist community. Next one. So now the goal. So are Dharani only for the protection, or does it bring does it help to get enlightenment? So it has two goals, right? Mundane. So if you practice Dharani, sincerely, then you will have two kinds of result. One is mundane goal and one is supramundane goal. So mundane goal we already discussed before, like Pancharacha, right? So there's a list of things you will be protected from, you will get. So now let's talk about supramundane goal. So it's called Lokotara, right? So for us, we will focus on like a mundane goal because it's short benefit. Like we want immediate benefit. Right now we need something, so that's why we only focus on the mundane goal right now. But it does. If you practice sincerely, you will get more like a Lokotara goals. Next slide. So the holistic nature of Dharani. The Tao Tzu, the Chinese master, Buddhist master, he gave like a 10 inherent virtue. So this, if you recite or chant the Dharani, so it guarantee that, especially if the king, so his country will be protected. So national security, right, from the enemy, astrological natural disaster, crop failure, drought. And they purge defilement and exorcise ghosts. So if you have a problem with the ghost, right, so you need to prevent that. You don't want ghosts to come to your house. Right? So you can recite the Dharani and put the mantra in the gate. When you build a house, you have to invite Bajacharya and put the Dharani on the gate. Then no ghost can enter. Okay. And they cure illness, increase blessing. So these are the things we already discussed. So now the number 5. So if you recite Amitabha Dhyani or Amitabha Dharani, it's ensure rebirth in paradise, right? Especially Sukhavati. So you have to chant Amitabha Buddha Dharani. Right? And so they also fond of the teaching and practice of our Mother of God, which is Prajna Paramita. Right? So this Dharani is actually going to lead us to enlightenment. But the thing is, it involves practice, not just reciting. So you have to practice meditation, cultivation, more cultivation required. So the recitation is only for like people who don't meditate, right? But if you know, if you analyze the text, so more practice you have to do. So right now we don't have any knowledge, so we just recite it. But it will also bring some blessing or something. But actually you have to meditate. So if you practice the Dharani, so Buddha will cherish you, right? So Buddha, Bodhisattva will always around you and help you whenever you need help. and you will get all kinds of powers. So Buddha Bala, Buddha protection, you will get Buddha protection. So you are almost like equal to Buddha and ordinary beings with Buddha. So there's lots of benefits. And so remove from transgression and harmful deeds. So Radha Dvesa Moha does it like one of the enemy of our. We have to remove those things. Without that, you won't get enlightenment. So if you practice sincerely, so you will be able to eliminate those negative emotions, and you can cut all those non-virtuous karma, or eliminate all those bad karma. So there's some pictures in Nepal. This is a Jesta Varna Mahadana in Patam. So people, if somebody die, so they go there and worship or offer some kind of offering to this deity. There's another deity next to that, on the left hand side. So people go to recite the Durgati Parisona Dharani. So if somebody die, for the sake of good reward, we have to recite this Durgati Parisona Dharani. And Tara Aparamita Dharani we do in the birthday time, before I mentioned before. It's very common, like Tara worship. For longevity, Aparamita, protection, Tara, happiness, eternal. And Vasundhara. So Vasundhara recitation, so you have to draw a mandala, and the Vasundhara's color is yellow. You will see yellow all over. And every year there's a Vasundhara Brata. They recite Brata for 2 days. It's very common worship practice in Nepal. Now I want to show one video of Nrtyamandala Recitation. So this tradition of chanting of Dharani is still being still popular in Nepal. So what we need to do is like more awareness, and also tell or preach Nepalese young generation that this Dharani, people have like misunderstanding. Oh, Dharani, what will happen? Just chanting will not bring anything, but it does have some kind of power. If you chant, you will get something. So it won't be worthless. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, any questions? Yeah. I have one question about Grahamatrika cult. Tibetans has at least 2 lineages of Grahamatrika in collection of sadhanas of Staranatha and 8 Karmapara relative in Vidhi ritual for Grahamatrika, but Tibetans don't really practice nowadays this deity anymore. I just wonder if you have any representation of Grahamatrika, in which form, is this one form or several forms? I assume it should be female deity, right? And I just wonder if there is mandala of Grahamatrika. Does it include Navagraha or not? And if you have temples dedicated to Grahamatrika?
Yes, there's one mandala in Nispada Valley on Grahamatrika. But the Sadhamala is, Grahamatrika is mentioned in the Sadhamala. So it seems like the main major texts of iconography are, the Grahamatrika is not exist in those texts. This may be later development.
But do you still this practice have popular among Nevaris? And if there is any Murtis statues of Grahamatrika or not?
So especially in manuscript we find.
So you mostly recite Dharani, but you don't create images and
yeah, there's only some monastery, they have Trudala outside, 9 grahas, Grahamatrika, especially those. So Grahamatrika is represented by, so one Grahamatrika represents all 9, right? 9 deities. So we will see one Grahamatrika deity this time. But not many, like statue or something.
And you recite long Dharani or short mantra of Grahamatrika?
So this Grahamatrika is very short. It's only 7 folio. Very short. So Buddha just immediately gave a teaching. When Vajrapani asks like, how to prevent from the obstacle of misalignment of Graha, then he immediately gave like recite this. So there's no discussion.
So you have only one sutra about Grahamatrika?
Sort of. And it just got translated in English recently.
But you don't have initiation rites for this deity, right?
We do have a Grahamatrika Vidhi, but not translated.
Sure. But there is no initiation into Grahamatrika, right?
So when, so I observed those mandala chanting Grahamatrika. Yeah, so the short ritual associated.
So there is ritual, but there is no initiation, no Abhisheka, right?
Yeah, but that's why if we ask,
I think so. They do the Grahamatrikas, what's called that, the fastings and initiations and empowerment that they do, to just particularly who have sickness and who have problems, and those people so who particularly ask for the Gurujus for the Grahamatrika puja. So they do for the Grahamatrika pujas. As and then they draw the mandala. Definitely they draw the mandala and pray things. Yeah.
Like they worship single graha, like mandala, Shani, Buddha. So and the Buddhas will tell you like, okay, you have to feed such and such like meat or blood to particular graha and put in the like or something for and then the people who got sick, right? So they will offer particular graha. So the worship of 9 is very sometimes only during like Zongpu, the old age rites, special cases only they do. But individual god, individual graha is more common, like during birthday. So the priest or Jyotish will tell you like, you have to worship particular graha in this day. Then they just focus on particular one or two graha.
So it means that astrologers, Jyotisha who are Buddhists, they don't worship Grahamatrika as Ishtadevata, so they are not considering as a guiding deity, right?
That is the 9. Jyotish will tell you like what graha is making problem, right?
But they are not worshipping Grahamatrika as a Ishtadevata, right?
Main deities. Yeah.
If you have a problem, if some graha create a problem, after watching our Janma Kundali, and they can tell you like this graha is heavy on you, and then particularly they will give you specific instruction. Okay, worship this, and you will be fine after that. But this ritual mostly performed during that Dzongpo, first Dzongpo. Because 77 is a lucky day, lucky number, right? 8 and 9 is, they do like other ritual. But the Grahamati was in first, that you have to worship that day. Other two, like if they have money, they will do elaborate ritual, but sometimes they just finish in short gathering. But the first one, you have to do everything.
I have one more question. What is the Dharana? Where is the origination of Dharana? Origin of Dharana? Where that come from? And what is the meaning of Dharana?
Yeah, the first line I put it in. So drill like a grabs the ball something. So whole first line. So meaning like a it has a lot of meaning. One, the basic meaning like a spell and so memory. So in order to
The word Dharana come from?
Dharana, to grasp.
To grab.
You are holding something. So that means recitation also and memory, keep in memory. So the Dharani maybe developed because especially Indian Buddhism is like orally transmitted, right? We don't have any written system. People will just recite. So this kind of mantra or formula developed to keep in memory. Right?
Keep in mind.
Yeah, keep in short, yeah. Capsule teaching, keep in mind. And it has power. So if you recite it, it keep blessing, it will bring fortune. So that's the way.
One question. First of all, thank you very much for your useful presentation. I didn't know much about Dharani before, but it takes me to my childhood time when I was a small kid. My mom used to take me to, it was in 1960s when the doctors and medical facilities were not very much available in Nepal. My mom used to take me to Mastapli Guvajo in our neighborhood. When I felt sick, I was not doing good. And the Guvajo did, some kind of spell or some vidya or some, mantra, and it worked on me. I don't know how it did, but I was a kid. Now that Mastapli Guvajo and any kind of those kind of people are not anymore, the very thing, maybe you must have used the Dharani technique also. Dharani, I think so. At that time I didn't know. All I know is it worked on me at that time. So now, lots of hospitals, lots of doctors in Nepal, the concept of Dharani is slowly dying. What should be done for the revival of Dharani practice?
I think awareness right now in Nepal, the West is getting more spiritual, become more spiritual, right? And Nepal, especially the underdeveloped areas, just become more materialistic. They just talk about the computer, electronic stuff. They are less and less interested in ritual or spiritual stuff. So we, especially in Nepal right now, my father, when he was alive, he opened like Buddhist studies, Nagarjuna Institute of Buddhist studies, to educate like Newar Buddhist. So Newar Buddhist, we do have a Newar Buddhism, but they don't know what the meaning, right? The philosophy, teaching on philosophy are lacking. So they go to temple, like exercise in the morning, walk, but they actually don't know what's going on in temple. What kind of dharana they recite, what kind of philosophy inside in Paragama. They just worship, pay money, and they take like some tika and tachina, that's it. Right? So we need to know the meaning behind those rituals. It has so many details. Each and individual ritual has like so many philosophical, it attached to so many philosophical ideas that people are not aware of. So we need to publish more books, especially in Newar and Pali. Newar language, I think, is also struggling. The young generation, they don't know how to write and even read in Devanagari. They just train in English like that. It's kind of very bad. So we need to, like even in campus, we have to make like compulsory courses on some kind of religious studies or something. We need to do that.
We're going to do here, after the 10-year anniversary, we're going to do the once a week, we're going to do the Dharani chanting practice. So we're all going to chant, and I have a Devanagari and Devanagari and transliteration, but I haven't done the translation. What is the benefit of this? I have about 150 Dharanis in the East deities. So with that, we're going to do after our anniversary. So every once a week. So we try to preserve here. And once a month, every year we do the Namasangiti Dharani. We do whole month during the Gula month. So as we started doing a couple years before. So and every month that the Gula month we're having that. And also other part also the Durgati person in Dharani. That's also we do if someone pass away. If someone asks me to do it with the Guru Durgati person Dharani, that means a liberation Dharani. In the Tibetan practice like the bardo, how you do the bardo, same way we do Durgati person Dharani. That's also I order somebody to make it that transliteration, so easy to read it and easy to go it. And also we're going to do really slow, so we can get the feelings with the vibrations. So that we're going to do in at least once a week. So we try to preserve in this place.
Another one misconception about the Dharani Recitation. So people think that you have to be like a specific the pronunciation. You have to pronounce as like a Sanskrit scholar. So it's not like that. If you have a deep belief of faith on Dharani, even you mispronounce it, the result will be exactly the same. You don't need to worry that I'm a foreigner, I cannot spell like a Sanskritist. So don't worry about the spelling part. You try your best, but the result is almost identical. You don't need to worry about it. Just bring the belief on that text. So if you have belief, you will be cured. That's the thing.
Good. Thank you. We also have a dinner, just let you know. So.
Before we begin, I would like to give two gifts for our presenter.
Okay.
I brought two magazines. It was published on occasion of a global Newar conference. So since both of you are scholar, I think it will be benefit for you to take a look. So please come here, and then this is published from World Newar Organization. It happened in Kathmandu in 2018. President was there, a lot of people from here. So we published this journal at that time. So it has lots of content. It is very essential or very useful for scholars like them. So hopefully you can use it for your reference or anything. So called Ali Newar. Ali means the world in our language or global, and Newar, the Newar around the world. The Newar people around the world. That's what the actual meaning we use as a like a civilization, global civilization, not the Newar civilization, or the awareness of the Newar civilization. So we did this global conference in 2018 in March in Kathmandu, and we have people from 16 different countries attended to that. And I did not show both of you on that chat. So that's why it will be beneficial for you to have it. I'd like to present Christopher.
So thank you very much. And so I hope to see you again and again. So we have a last Next week will be the last finals for this year. So do not miss this opportunity. And then, we have amazing scholars coming, one of the scholars who is the head of the Berkeley Universities next week. So, and then we have a preparation, then, that day it's a performance, dance performance, rituals. We also have an open mic if you have anything to share with your individual connections with the Dharmas and Buddhism. So, we also try to keep. Also, we have a Japanese student came from all the way from the Japan to be part of this 10-year anniversary. And she will be doing the Tendaishu chantings, which is a very hard course in Japan. They at the top of mountain, they wake up in the 4 o'clock in the morning. So, in the winter, they take off the clothes, they keep the cold waters, and they're screaming, to keep the strings, the powers of the mantras, and then they empower with that for 3 months. So she's been trained that way. She's here, so she's just arrived same day, they are Friday. So she will be chanting as well here. And what else I miss? And also, you're welcome to join every morning. So we have the meditation here. And also, after meditation, if you want to join either part of the meditation, we will initiate you how to do rituals. There's all the rituals we do in a Sanskrit here. So every morning, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the weekends. But if you just want to be part of that, you're welcome to join. After that, it's my job to offer the tea. So, and join after the tea. And keep in touch. And if you're not a part of our email list, so maybe we should create a little bit email list for you to join, what's happening here. That's only we reach out to the. Also, of course, check once in a while, check our webpage. We have a Nrtyamandala Mahavihara webpage, and also we have a dancemandala.com as also the webpage. So, okay, that's all I have to say. And dinner will be ready in 5 minutes. Maybe. So we'll go to heat up. And yeah. Thank you.